I believe like my slides are visible to you. Yeah.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah, thank you. So today's class, I'm going to be a little bit fast to cover the syllabus for today. But at the same time, if you feel you're not able to understand, or if any point you have anything to pitch in or have any queries, you can stop me then and there to ask your questions. Today we will be discussing about creativity and design thinking. So uh, let's see what is creativity. So in this class I'm going to speak more about design thinking. So actually this is the first step what we are going to make in the course of lean startup management. So here in this module, we are going to cover about creativity and design thinking, where you are going to identify the business opportunities, understand your customers, and how you will be able to assess the market, and so that you can launch your product successfully. So we are going to discuss about this creativity and design thinking in this class. So to summarize in the last class what we have learned, so we saw the five principles of lean startup management, and earlier to that we have also saw about we have discussed about the five principles of lean. Then we discussed about the five principles of lean startup management. I hope you are able to remember that. So to summarize that, we have saw that it's going to be an incremental and iterative process. This lean startup management activities are going to be highly incremental and iterative, so that we have shorter product development cycles, and it's going to be more adaptive than predictive. Okay, so we saw this basically. We saw this learn, build, and measure loop. So, and we were discussing that to complete it as quick as possible. So when we saw what are the, I mean, based upon the five principles, what we saw is lean startup will help us to make understand the product and build the product at a faster phase, then so that you can reach the market early. So once your product is able to reach the market early, it means that you will dominate the market until your competitor arises. Next, when you say the disadvantages of this or cons of this, you are going to have a lot of reworking on this, because ideas means it's going to be an iterative process. So you are going to iterate, you have to iterate your ideas before you reach up making a final product. And it requires a lot of experimentation, like a lot of cross analysis has to be done, a lot of opinion polling or survey kind of activities has to be taken to take up this process. Okay, but whenever you have a doubt in business, this is going to be a handy tool which you can use to launch your business in a short span of time. So that was what we had discussed in the last class. So now let's enter into creativity and design thinking. So what is creativity? So we all know that. So it's the idea of turning new and imaginative ideas into reality. So you know that. So whenever creative means whenever it's when you call innovative yourself, you when you are able to suggest like when you are able to suggest some new idea so that it will have a new market, or the product is going to be unique, so then you say that idea as creative idea. So you know there are a lot of products in the market thanks to this technological development, technical disruptions what we have what were happening. So see I am from your other generation, like the previous generation. So I we have saw like I have heard songs using radio, doing using tape recorder. We have a tape kind of thing, tape cassettes. Then I watched movies in deck. We call it a deck, the VCR. Then in CDs, Blu-rays, pen drives, and even the iPads, iPods. So we have seen my generation has seen a long journey of technological disruptions. What is happening? So we call them as creative ideas. We call them as innovative ideas, right? There are a lot of things in the market coming up every day which are more creative, and slowly it is catching up uh, uh, our life, right? So we used to write letters, we used to send greeting cards by post, but nowadays the meaning of postal department itself has gone in India, has gone down in India, right? So creativity, because nowadays we use WhatsApp, the communication was made very easy because all thanks to all this creative technological disruptions what we faced. Okay, so creativity is turning new or imaginative ideas into reality, right? When we watch the movie, some certain movies, science fiction movies, we feel wow, how it could be, how it will be like this. But nowadays we are able to see a lot of things like that related to this, right? So it is going to be characterized by the world, right? So we don't know how it is going to work, but still it's an imaginary idea, but still we can pitch it out and we can find the possibilities of launching a new product in a market. So the market is open, ideas are numerous. It's how creative and how innovative we are basically to launch the products. So it's basically creativity is two things. One is first you have to think about your product, then we have to think how to produce that product. So it's going to be thinking and producing. Okay, so I told thinking. So thinking in terms of design of the product. We are going to think in terms of design of the product. Then we will worry about how to produce, how to launch the product. That is the thing. First, your product should be innovative. That is the first step. So design thinking. So let's see the origin of design thinking, how it evolved. So design thinking is a design is a thinking of a. That's what in 1969 Herbert Simon he proposed. Later, in the method of creative action was proposed by Rolf Foster. Then we have this IDEO, commercial application of design thinking. These are the books which were written by these authors. And in 1991 we came out with the book called David Kelly. So David Kelly are like Kelly brother. We call them as Kelly brothers. We have two people, like they were the founder of this IDEO company. I have given the link in the towards the end of the slide. You can go to their web page and you can learn more about that. So these are the terms that I mean the like people were thinking design as a thinking, then as an action, then how to commercialize product. So to commercialize product also we were requiring design thinking. So this is just for for you to explain like how the ideas were evolved from 1969 to 1991, the evolution of design thinking. Okay, what is design thinking? So it's a process of creative problem solving. So this is called as creative problem solving. So you have a problem, you're going to design something. To design that issue you will have a lot of scientific and other technical knowledge. So with that you're going to design the product to solve the issue. So that's what we call as design thinking. Is a process of creative problem solving. Here we have a, when I say creative problem solving, then that means that and I say scientifically or technically how we are going to approach, that means this methodology is going to be creative as well as going to be a practical vehicle problem solving. Because why I'm saying this vehicle problem solving, because we don't know whether we'll get a solution or not, but we keep trying so that we end up making a innovative and creative product. So in short, Tim Brown, the CEO of IDEO, is defining design thinking as a human centered approach to innovation that draws from the designer's toolkit to integrate the needs of people and the possibilities of technology and the requirements of business success. So it's very simple like this. So whatever you are making, so that's the definition of engineering or technology. When we say as an engineer, as a technologist, what we feel is we will always try to break the laws of science, like first law, second law, we know, right? So certain laws. We are trying to break the laws and we are trying to make a product which will be useful for the society. That is the definition of engineering, correct? So we are going to develop some products which are human centered, like which will be useful for the human society. By how? That will be integrating people and the technology. So we are going to create a design or create a product which will integrate people and technology. The best example will be a mobile phone. And if you're doing that, that will be the success factor in your business. Okay, so you understand, when you're bringing up technology and when you're bringing people closer, like you say that the codes of if you remember the codes of Nokia, right? What do you call the one line of tagline of Nokia, connecting peoples. That's what is design thinking. If you're able to connect people by technology, that will be helpful for the people again, then we call that as a successful product. So when you have a successful product, of course your business is going to be get successful. So that is the definition of design thinking. How, what is this design thinking then? So it is ultimately it's going to be is the idea of bringing a innovative product. So how, where human, technical and business all when this coexist, then that is called as innovative product. Can you name any innovative products like this? I told the example of mobile phone. Okay, can you tell any innovative product like this? You can unmute yourself and you can speak out. I want this to be a bit interactive session. Any innovative product like this? I told a very successful product, cell mobile phone. I took the example. I took the advantage of naming the cell phone as an innovative product. Like this, you have any product with you? Am I clear? Am I audible? You can name any product that will come under innovative product.
So smartwatch.
Yeah, a smartwatch. It's just nowadays a smartwatch or the Fitbits kind of thing. It's going to scan your heartbeat, your how much kilometer distance you're walking, what is your all these things, blood pressure. So all these things are able to monitor. Even your any medical equipment you take that is technically connecting going to connect with you, right? It's not alone technology alone always, but technology it can be either in terms of technology, but here I mean not the electronics alone. It can be of anything, right? So that is very innovative, right? So we call them. So when you have that technical, that is a feasibility, then you have the humans because it's going to be human centered product, the desirability of the human being to buy the product. And if you find some business chances of doing a business out of that product, then we call that as that activity as then automatically you're going to get an innovative product, and that product we call as the that process we call it as the design thinking process. Okay. So now what are the steps in design thinking? So normally people call this as a 6-step process, or we can call it as a design thinking process. Now just listen to me. I'm going to be skipping few slides to make you to understand this. Listen to the explanation whatever we are discussing in this class. The first thing is to empathize. What you are going to empathize? I'm going to meet. I have to go and meet the customer, or I have to go and meet the people who I think who will be my customers. I have to understand what is their problem, and I'm going to basically filter out their ideas. I'm going to go very close to them, and I'm going to otherwise I'm going to experience what as a customer what will I experience, what will I be requiring from your product, so that I go and stay with them and I try to understand what they want. Then what I do, then I really define as a engineer, I have to define what is the actually what is the thing they are requiring. They require. So that is called the define. Then we have that process, next process called ideate. What is this ideate? How I'm going to convert this the problem what is defined, how I'm going to convert it into a product. I'm going to think about that product. That is ideate. Then after thinking, I'm going to build a prototype of that product, of the ideas, with whatever the ideas I have. With that idea, I will be trying to make a prototype, and from that prototype, I'll do the, with that prototype, I'll launch it in the market. I'll do a alpha testing, or what you call the first level of testing I will do. Then after testing that, I will come out with I will rectify the mistakes whatever I did with the prototype. Then I will try to improve the product, and that is what I'll implement that changes in my product. Then I will launch the product in the market. So these are the 6 steps what we are going to do. So first we are going to try to understand by the first 2 steps. Then we are going to explore by ideate and prototyping. Then we are going to materialize by testing and implementing. So these are the 6-step process of design thinking. Okay, so now let's discuss one by one in very detail. Empathize, what I'm going to do. So why we have to empathize? So first, to prevent the bias and filtering. So like sometimes if you go and ask what do you want, they will give lot of things. Like say for example, if I'm going to launch a product called as a mobile phone, if you ask my population of different age groups, different different educational background or different geographical background. So what they will do is, if I go and ask them, what do you expect from a mobile phone? If I ask you, you will tell that, sir, I have to play PUBG game without any graphics. It should support the graphics of the PUBG game. It should be very fast. The processing should be very fast. There should not be any with poor network. Also, my phone should be able to work. So all these things you'll be giving. If I ask my mother, she will tell that I need just a phone to call you, or my relatives. Only that is the will be her requirement. If I ask someone else in my family, they will tell that I need to just send messages. So the different people will have different kind of requirement. So, but we should understand what is the basic essential requirement of a mobile phone. Okay, I want to launch a product for 1,000 rupees mobile phone. I should give whatever is possible in the 1,000 rupees. That's what I think. So I will have to bias, or sometimes I have to prevent the bias. I mean, I'm not going, I should not develop a product only for you or only for my mother. So the case is different, right? So the cases are different. So I will take all the ideas. That means I will take all the ideas. I should not be biased to anyone, and I will do some filtering to the requirement. And we should always empathize while doing empathize. We should feel that that is not my problem. We should not have that attitude. We should be very careful that taking, if someone is telling that, okay, this is my problem with this gadget or with this particular product, this is my problem. We should try to understand that problem. It's not that I will launch the product, whether if you want, you use it, or if you don't want, you don't want to use it. It's not my problem, it's your problem. You bought the product, you have to use it. It's not like that. You should make the product user friendly. That is very, very important. Then you should identify what is the real problem. What is the real problem you're trying to address? Then how? Because how we are going to do that? You're going to go to the user, you're going to talk to your customers directly, and you are going to make them work, and you are going to observe what during when working with, or you have to work, or you have to work with them, so that you'll understand what is the, that's what I told you. You have to go to the customer, understand what is the difficulty in experiencing the product, like that. Okay, so that's the thing. So it's just simple like this. You go to a movie, you watch the movie and you give the review to that movie, right? So there's something like that. Empathize. You go, you feel that, and then you tell what is the problem with a particular product. Then to define, now you know what is the problem actually. So what you're going to do, you're going to keep focus on the problem, and you're going to target the you're trying to we have a lot of customers in the market, but I'll select a particular group of customers in the market. So because they are the potential buyers, and for that potential buyers, what are the problems, real problems they're facing, I should try to address that problem by defining that as the problem. Okay, I know if I'm able to make a mobile for my student who wants to play the PUBG game very freely without any difficulty, then automatically that mobile phone can fulfill all other requirements as well. That if I'm having a very good phone like that, I mean, these are just my own examples. But you understand the concept behind this. It's not about only PUBG game. I don't play PUBG game, but still you listen here. The idea is to tell that if the mobile is able to support a very high resolution graphic resolution game, automatically other small features like calling or texting, this can be easily addressed. So so I'm fixing it, defining my target group, and I know what is the real problem, and that will be the main problem what I'm going to address. So what I'm going to do, so normally how they do is they do this by doing a lot of brainstorming sessions. Like they'll collect the group of customers, they will discuss with them, they'll have a storyboard, and they will write all the discussions in that point, and they will share their experience. Then we will try to distill, like, okay, this is the problem. We are trying to filter out the ideas. So after filtering, we'll come out with the what is the target group. From the group target group, now we have identified the my students as that my target group. Then I have to define or redefine the problem statement, and till I reach that this is my problem, till I come out with a final problem statement, I have to define or redefine again and again. So that what happens, my students will give, if I ask you what is the problem, they'll give a lot of problems with their mobile phone, but I should be selecting some problems which I can be able to address. So you can address all the problems together. I can make all the customers happy at a time, but there will be a more there is a particular issue where my all my customers are complaining on. So I will take up that particular issue which is having more complaint. So I will take only that problem, or and then I will try to correct it. So this is something like this. Like this is what happens when you they identify a bug in a app or something like that. They try to correct it. So that is what we are doing in the define phase. Like you understand who is the customer and what is their actual problem. Like that is what we are going to try to address. So the next phase is going to be ideate. So how I'm going to ideate? So don't lock too early. This is what all of us all the entrepreneurs they do mistake. They just go to the market. Okay, this is your problem, I will try to solve it. Don't lock it too early. Defer commitment, amplify learning. You learn the problem more, and you differ. Like you, if he is saying something, you differ from that idea and think from the the third perspective, right? It's not your idea or his idea. You should be thinking from the outside. Like if you two people are discussing, that will be very good. So say for example, if you are writing a paragraph and if you're reading it, for you the paragraph will sound very good, and if you ask your friend to read it again, he will tell that no, these are the lines, you grammatically you made a mistake, something like that. So it's like reading or doing the activity from a different as a third person or as a third party. Then find a innovative solution. This is very, very important. Solutions can be there, but your solution should be highly innovative. Then how we are going to do that? So always come out with multiple solutions. You should come out with not one idea. It's not you get okay, I got this idea, this is the best idea in the world. No, don't blindly go like that. You try to collect the resources, you try to create multiple solutions for a particular problem, and you use rational thinking. But beyond that, you should have a rational thinking. Okay, this is okay, but still you should move one step ahead to understand what will be the actual correct solution, affordable solution to that problem. To do that, two things they do during brainstorming sessions. You should instruct your group to do two things. One is to visualize how this product will work, or to think how it will work, or how it is going to function. Basically, what will be the user experience. That's what I'm meaning. To visualize. And the other thing is that normally during these brainstorming sessions, you are not allowed to sit. Like if you sit and think, nothing will come out. So you could see that in a lot of movies they will tell whenever there's a thinking problem, there is going to think some strategy to attack the enemy or something. They'll walk around the room, right? They'll walk left and right, so they'll so that their mind will be boosted, so that they can think more. These are some beliefs, right? Psychological beliefs. So don't sit and think, walk around to the activity. Then I told you to select a lot of problems, but out of that lot of problems, what you're going to do is you're going to select only a few problems which you can address, which you're going to address, because ideas are more. You got more ideas to solve your problem, but you're going to select only the innovative ideas. Again, while solving the innovative ideas, you're going to select a very few ideas. Okay. And the next step is to, now you got the idea. So now what you're going to do, you're going to prototype and test. Why? To validate. Okay, to validate your ideas, you are going to do, but to validate ideas, you should be quick and you should adopt a inexpensive way. Understand this word, why I'm telling again and again. I'm stressing this word, I'm underlining this word, quick and inexpensive, because this is lean startup management. You have to be quick and you have to adopt a inexpensive way. That means to test your product, you should be quick to the market, but again, you should adopt a way which is not costing the company. You should be cost effective manner. Then how you are going to do that? You can do a physical or interactive prototype. In case of your product, you can go for a physical. In case of a service oriented industries, you can go for a interactive prototype. Like you can create a survey, or you can take up some other way of questionnaires, like that. Then you should have a right fidelity. Okay, that is very, very important. Then prototype with defects. Okay, now you are making a product. You are making actually you are making a prototype. When you are making a prototype, the prototype may fail in the market, or when testing the prototype can fail. But don't worry, failure is success. As we all tell, failure is success. If your product is failing, you should be happy, because celebrate failures. In case of startups, celebrate the failures, because you have learned you're going to learn more things from your failure. Okay, because at this prototype stage, if you are failing, it is the best experience, because you are actually trying to understand whether your product will be successful or not. In this phase, you're actually trying to understand whether your product is going to be successful or not. So prototype, when your product fails in its prototyping stage, don't worry, be happy. Then don't defend the idea. So you don't think, okay, if my product is failing, whether the idea is bad. Don't think like that. Your idea is good. Your product has failed due to some other reasons. You think like that, and you start moving. Then implement. How you are going to implement? Why to implement? Because then only you'll understand in real time what is the product, whether the product, how the product will behave in the market. By how you're going to enter into the market, and again after entering, you're going to follow the product thoroughly, continuously, to understand when it reaches the customer, what the customer feels about the product. So reach the customer, introduce the product in the market, follow the product, go to the customer, ask him what is your experience after buying this product, whether you're happy with the product. So that's why whenever you buy a product from any Amazon or any online portal, they keep on asking you about your star ratings. The ratings are nothing but your satisfaction levels, your experience. They ask you to comment, okay, what do you feel about the product? Can you give in some lines? There's some people, right? I bought this phone so and so, and it has failed within 2 days. The camera is bad, the processor is bad. They have a lot of reasons to give. And sometimes the price, oh, this is a wonderful product in this price range, this is a wonderful product, I recommend to buy. So you buy the product based, I normally buy the product depending upon two factors. One is the user average customer reviews, and the cost of the product. So if I feel for this cost of the product based upon the customer review, if the product is good, I would love to buy I could prefer to buy the product actually. So that's how the market works basically. Again, get back. So if the customer is not feeling well, you get back. It's not getting back the product. It's like you are to rework, like the process of empathizing. Again, that process should repeat. So it's a loop. Okay, so now what is this lean startup with the design thinking? So in the last class we discussed about learn, build, measure. Sorry, build, measure, learn. Otherwise, whatever. So this here where you will learn about the building the product. You are going to release the product. You have to measure, and from that measurement, you will know what your product is lacking, and that you will repeat it again. So then with that we have the design thinking idea. So this is called as lean startup with the design thinking, and this is called as lean startup with design thinking. Okay, this Jeff Patton has mentioned this about this in his study, user story mapping. So you will basically try to get what the customer wants, and they are going to manufacture the product only what the customer requests, and you are going to be innovative, and at the same time you are going to launch your product in a very shorter period in the market after you conceive the idea. Okay, so now let's get a one step higher. So please understand this. In order to do your assignments, you should follow my discussion so that you'll understand what we are going to do. So what is that idea? So now using that design thinking concept, now we are taking the lean startup also together. So we are going to take lean startup and design thinking together in a single slide, and I'm going to explain how this is going to work. So first, what they're doing, we are coming out with a big idea or an innovative idea. So by how I'm going to define what is that idea. You're going to come with the design idea of your product. I'm going to define what I require from the product. Okay. Then I'm going to make, not to make that product, I'm going to have to make some assumptions, correct? To make a product, I have to make some assumptions from the user point of view and from the solution point of view. Like the user will ask for certain things. You'll say I need a car which can split into two. It can fly, it can go in water. It can be like anything. You can ask for such a product, but the solution will be something different. You can give you a product which can run on road. It can't fly. It can't move in water. It's not possible. Like the customer can tell anything, but you should be able to give something. So you are going to make some assumptions based in being in the shoes of the user or the customer, as well as from the product side. Okay, this product can do only this, so you will have some idea, and you will take the ideas of the expectations of the customer. Like you will think, okay, this customer will be needing this from the so that I can be able to give this or not, like that you are going to think. Then what I'm going to do, out of these assumptions, I'm going to refine, I'm going to filter down only the assumptions which are very risk to perform. Okay, imagine I was from the example what I told you, my customer is asking me a car which can go on road as well as in water. The product is going to be absolutely, there's no doubt the product is going to be more innovative, and of course we have one or two products in the market also similar to that. At least in the test bed we have some products in the market, but that is a riskiest assumption. So I'm going to make out of the all assumptions, I'm going to filter, and I'm going to take only the riskiest assumption, because the entrepreneur will always take the risk, should take the, not always, you should always take the risk, should take the risk to come out with some innovative product. So the risk taking um, is what differentiates from the regular manufacturer and the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur always is one step ahead. He takes the risk in joining the product, in launching the product. So he is launching the product based upon the highest risk. So he is taking the highest risk. He is trying to found a solution for that highest risk. Then he is coming out with a product, a prototype, as quick as possible, because now he is, this is the problem in the market. I should be able to launch my product as quick as possible in the market. So he should come out with a prototype as early as possible, and he should be able to launch that product. Okay, now he has launched the product in the market. So after launching the product in the market, what he has to do, he has to follow the customer. He should interact with the customer, or intercept means like you're going to meet the customer. You have to observe how the customer feels, or how the product behaves with the customer. Then you have to interview him, you have to take some surveys. So basically you're going to test the product, prototype and testing. So you're going to test the product, and after testing, what happens, it's not, your job is not yet over. You're going to bring that. Okay, you're going to bring that, and if your results are good, you're going to celebrate the learning. If not, you have to think about the solutions, and assumptions again and again. You have to refine the refine the solution what you got, and again you have to rethink. So in this process you may get success, but you may also failure. Even if you get failed, you celebrate it. When you fail, you celebrate. Being an entrepreneur, failures are meant for celebrations. Okay, so if you see this, this is a simple lean startup cycle what we discussed. Okay, so how here we have learned, we have built something, we have measured something, we have built, we have measured, we have learned. So build, measure, learn. So lean startup, build, measure, learn. This activity is done. Next, let's see how we the design thinking activity is also imbibed in this. So in the design thinking process, I have defined the product, I have ideated and prototype. I have tested and empathized the product. So I have also implemented the solution, right? So that means you know that I have covered lean startup in this by building the product, by measuring the product, and by summarizing my learning out of the product. I have made this in a quick process. Then again, when I take this design thinking, I have empathized from I understood what my customers required. I defined the product. I came out with some ideas. I prototyped the product, and I also tested the product. And out of the testing, I understood what I learned, and I'm going to implement it again. So the lean startup and the design thinking, both the ideas are now kept together. So that's what we call that lean startup and design thinking. Okay, so now let's go one by one. So first we now we have defined the product. Now let's go with the assumptions. So how to list the assumptions? So to collect the assumptions from the customer, you have to form a group, and that with that group can consist of technical people, business, or all stakeholders put together. And you you should understand this always. This teams whatever you're forming for brainstorming sessions should be cross functional team. What is this cross functional team? Cross functional team means you will have participants from all walks of the life, or all people who are going to involve. Like if I'm giving up a solution for a mechanical problem, it's not about only from I can have people from computer science, I can come from EC, triple E, biotechnology. Anyone can be involved. Like whoever you find will be able to help you in this process. You can involve everyone, and there is no waterfall method. Please understand that here we are not following any waterfall method, like step by step. No, it's not like that. That's the beauty of this. As I told you, it's not like that. You should always follow define. After defining, I'll do assumptions, I will ideate and prototype, then I will test and empathize. No, it's not like that. You can move across. If you're feeling okay in this stage itself, ideate and prototype itself, you're feeling no, the definition of the problem is wrong, you can go back. You can switch over whenever you feel the product is not up to the problem statement is not correct. So you should understand in this process your ideas whatever you're making, you should adopt it. You should have a cross functional team, and again your cross functional team should not adopt a waterfall method. Like the traditional methods will not be working. It should be a collaborative, it should be a group work, or all the peoples in the group must be involved. So you're going to make a team, you're going to do a brainstorming section, and you're going to assume, you're going to list out what are the assumptions, like from what your customers or the users will be required, and you're making some assumptions and solutions. Okay, this solution may work like this or may not work like this. You will make some assumptions, and from that you will be coming out with a solution which you're planning to release it again. So when you do this process, you should think that will users engage in activities as we expecting them to do. It may, because your users may not be ready to help you. Whether the users are recognize the value in the problem what you have mentioned, whether the users will be able to use a solution, whether the customers uh, will be satisfied from the context of what you propose as a solution. So all these things are there. So you should make some lot of assumptions, and they are going to you involve your customers and users from basically by market survey, or it can be of any mode. Then how to classify assumptions? When you are classifying assumptions, there are two. Please listen to this slide, because your assignment one is going to be purely based upon these things. There are two dimensions you have to think. First thing, what probability it will be wrong, probability that it will be wrong. You are thinking about a solution, you think on how much will be the probability the thing it may go wrong. What is the probability of my solution going wrong? if my solution is wrong, what will be the impact? Whether it's going to impact heavily or low, high impact or low impact. Okay, two things. When you're making assumptions, you should think that, okay, if what are the chances of my solution or my assumptions going wrong? If my assumptions are wrong, how much is the impact it's going to cause on the company or on the organization? It's going to be high or low. Again, we have four variations. One is low probability it will be wrong, low impact on so if the probability of the thing is if the probability is less, the impact of the solution is going to be less. Okay, so low probability, low impact. Low probability of it going wrong, but impact may be high. Sometimes a small mistake can cause a serious damage. Okay, a small impact. Example, all your rocket launches, they'll tell that 20 paise or 1 cent, one transistor, one resistance went off, and the whole rocket of for more crores as blasted. Some noiseless dysfunction, the entire rocket has gone. So low probability, because they see that it's not going wrong. So low probability of it going wrong, but if when it goes wrong, the impact is going to be very, very high. Next, we have high probability of going it wrong, but less impact on the solution. Okay, this is just like this. You may fail exam, but that is not going to affect your degree. So, right? Failure is high impact. In failing in a subject is high impact, but it on an overall solution it is having a very, very less. So the probability of it's being wrong and the low impact on solution. Then sometimes this case low high, there will be high risk, high impact on solution, high risk. So the probability of making going things will be high, but at the same time the impact of the impact on the solution can also be high. So there are two things which you have to consider. So one is probability of a thing going wrong, and the impact of the if it goes wrong, what will be the impact on the product. Okay, you should understand what is the probability of my solution going wrong. Then you are going to if based upon the probability, what will be the impact on the solution what you have proposed. Are you able to understand this? If not, I can explain you one more time. Are you able to understand? Are you able to follow up?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
hello, sir. Sir, what is this, sir? High probability and low impact on solution. So
high
can
probability high probability that it will be wrong and low impact on the solution. That's what I told you. Like see, if you're not studying a subject, you may fail in a subject in this course. Okay, let's take it like that. So it's going to have a high impact, high probability. Like if you're not studying, you know that you're going to definitely, so there's going to be high probability. If you're not studied in an exam, you know that there's high probability of you to fail in the exam. But overall that is not going to impact your life, or it is not going to impact your degree. Correct? Because next time you have a second chance to write it. Okay, so that's what is high probability of going it wrong is there, but it will not create much impact on the solution. Okay, so that's the case. So sometimes it's not, say for example, you have a car and your tail lamp is not going to function, or your wiper is not going to function, because you know that the motor of the wiper has gone bad. It has a very, it's the probability of failure, you know that it's going to fail, but when you're driving there is not going to create high impact. If it rains, it's going to create high impact, otherwise it's going to create only a less impact when you're driving in a normal situation. Correct? So that's good one example. You will understand as we move on. We are going to discuss one interesting case study. From that, you will be able to understand. Okay. So so always as an entrepreneur, what you should do is start with high probability that it will be wrong, and you will and thinking that it will have a high impact on the solution also. Okay. You should, so when you satisfy this condition, automatically the other three conditions can be taken care of. When you are able to satisfy this condition, all the three other solutions will three conditions can be in your favor. Correct? When you feel that, okay, this is what the fear, right? This is the fear, or this is the highest risk. That's what I told you. From the assumptions, we are filtering the high risk assumptions. That is what we are going to do. So from the assumptions what you are made, you are going to filter the highest risk in your assumption. With that risk only you are going to do. Okay, so when you're able to make a product which is which that is going to fail. And if you're going to design a product which because of this high probability of failure, if the product is going to have high impact on the solution, understanding that it is going to fail, and if you're able to make the product successfully, then your reach will be high, your market is going to be something different. Okay, so that's the success factor of all products. You should if you're prepared for this situation, high probability of your idea going wrong and high probability of you to fail, definitely you should take that risk to launch the product. That means once you do that, the product is going to be a successful product. Okay, let's take this interesting example. Of course, I took this from some internet sources. I'm not telling this is my own case study, but let's see. This is an interesting case study what I found. So there is a XYZ university. Okay, people who are sleeping or who are not listening to me, at least listen now to understand what we were discussing so far. Since it's an online section, I don't know how much you understood. You can replay the video which I'm recorded. I'm sharing daily. So let's come to the case study. So I have a university called as XYZ University. Okay, what's the name of the university? XYZ. You can name your own university, whatever you want. Okay, so this university is coming out with want to improve its reach, or it wants to show how this is an outstanding university in some way. So what they're doing, they're hiring a software developer, and they're consulting, or a consultant, basically a consultant they're hiring, and they wanted to know what they should do to improve their image in the global market or globally. So what the software is developer is doing is telling to the team, see, this XYZ university has contacted me and they wanted to improve their image. So propose some solutions. So what this team is doing is they are coming out with an innovative solution. They are telling that they are coming out with an idea that let's digitize all the books. Let's digitize all the books, so the students are no need to carry the books to the school or the college or the university. They can just bring their tablet or iPad, whatever, and pad or tablet, so that the learning will be easy and it will be more comfortable to the student. This is the idea what they are proposing to the software developer, and in turn the software developer is going to convey that to the university. So what happens, they are telling that all books will be digitized, so every student will get a tablet. Correct? Okay. So as you all know that when we bring some offers, they are subjected to market risk. Correct? So can someone read what is the star mark what I gave you? Every student should get a tablet, but that's a subjected to market risk, right? What is the market risk? What is the risk factor I'm giving? Can anyone unmute and read it?
Fees.
Can you read it? Someone give a try. What is it that I given in the slide? I'm just asking you to read. Someone, please.
So it will be included in the fees.
Yeah, cost included in college fees. Okay, thank you. You can unmute. Sorry, you can mute yourself. Okay, so every student will gets a tablet, but again, cost included in college fees. There is a hidden fees, correct? Cost included in college fees. So now the books will be digitized, but the cost of the tablet will be borne by the will be under the college fees, and the students are now have to pay for the tablet also. Okay, this is the thing. So now you are my customers, right? Now you are the customers. You all, your student, my students are my customers in this case study. So now there are few questions going to come. Now automatically when I say this, automatically, so when I digitize everything, what happens? You can do that in your tab. You can take the classes in your mobile. You can do it in your laptop or desktop, whatever you prefer. Anything you can do. The education is being made very simple like now. Okay, so but what are the benefits? Much better reading experience. Okay, reading experience will be good because you can read whenever you want, and you don't need to carry the books. It's better for taking notes anytime. Just you than writing in a notebook. It will be you'll be enjoying to write in a tablet. And us. as it and the reputation of the university may of the university will go up. Like they will call this a tech savvy university, right? People who are these students and this staff members are highly different. They always there's nothing no paper no paper. So the image of the university will be improved, and the students will love to join this university. So now can I have your experience? You can unmute and you can share about this thought process, whether this will be successful. Everyone, you can unmute and you can share your opinion on this. Let me take one by one. So this is the case. What is your opinion on this case?
Sir,
Yeah,
it will actually be successful.
it will be actually.
It will actually be successful.
It will be successful.
Yes.
Okay. So you're ready to bear the cost of the tablet in your college fees?
Yes, sir. Because we are already paying. Taking the case of VIT, we are already paying a huge fees, which is in which the digital library costs are already included.
Okay. So what about others?
So, but in some village areas, like electricity and network issues are there.
Yeah, same what we are facing now. Okay, so
Yes,
there
sir.
the student may be finding it difficult. Okay, this is not about the completely going online inside the university itself. Okay, what do you feel about like if this is a tech savvy university, will the new students, the prospective students, will they be happy to join our university, join the XYZ university? The case what we are
Yeah,
discussing.
yes, sir.
You think really the students will love to join if no notebooks books, only the students will have a tablet for everything in their
But
inside the
sir, it
university?
will.
So
So
okay,
nowadays people are accustomed to using technology
yes,
in
yes,
various forms. So I mean, if they're using something they're very familiar with, and
okay,
they actually enjoy using it, so it'll be
okay,
more better.
very good. So with that note, thanks for your comments on this case study. So now let's
And
go.
sir, I want
Yeah,
to add
yeah,
one more point. Yeah,
yeah.
sir, but it will cause some health issues like on eyesight effect or for regular using tablets, sir.
Okay, okay. So you're right. So I always
Sir,
reading. Yeah.
sir, what about what if the tablet or something it goes it malfunctions and goes for repair? What about the university providing a replacement for it, and till that point the student will be having?
Maybe there will be a hardware and software support system in the college to help you out. I'm not sure. So this is just an example. This is just a case study. Okay, don't. Okay, just take it in that way. Take it light. Okay, that's the problem of the university, of course. Okay, let's. This is just a. That's why I told this is not V8. This is XYZ university. Okay, be clear in that. Okay. Okay. So with your fruitful interaction, let's proceed further. Let's relate this case study to the subject what we are learning now. Let the lean startup and design thinking. So how this is going to work? So now we are going to make some assumptions for this, right? We think the students can. What are the assumptions we make? We think that the students will. I know it's 11:50. I need some 10 more minutes of time, please. Is that possible? Or at least 5 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let me come to this
5 minutes,
case
5
study at
minutes.
least. Okay, the students consider carrying. We think that the students, it will be difficult for the students to. We assume that the one who proposed the solution think that the students are finding it difficult to carry the books. And if we give the tablets, it will be a very good experience, provide very good reading experience for the students, and the students will be willing to pay for the tablet. And it's they assume that if we make this college tech savvy, a lot of students will be very giving you favorable rating, and they will be willing to join the university. So these are the assumptions. That is, students don't want to carry their books. They decided the students don't want to carry the books. It will give you a very good reading experience, and the students will be willing to pay for the digitizing activity as well as for the tablet. And it will invite, or it will welcome a lot of new. It will increase the chances of more students joining this university because it's a tech savvy university. These are the assumptions what we made. Okay, so now based upon the discussion what we had about the probabilities, remember this probability, low probability that it will be wrong. I think you remember this, right? So I always told you to start with the high probability of being it wrong. So based upon that, we are doing, we are assuming the students considering carrying a book as a problem, but we are telling that this may be a low probability of that being wrong, and what will be the impact on its solution? It's going to be a low impact. Okay, if it goes, okay, we may be thinking, okay, this students consider taking the book to the school, to the college, it's a problem, always carrying all books together, so that will be a problem. But if this is your assumption, if this assumption goes wrong, this is not going to affect the solution much. Next is, the students will provide better user experience for better reading. We think the tablets will provide a better experience, but if this goes wrong, the entire solution will be affected, because if students think that reading, as someone told me, reading tablet will be causing some health issues, it may affect your eyes. If that is the case, ultimately the solution what you identified is the wrong solution. And if the students are not willing to pay, we believe that the students are willing to pay. If the students are not willing to pay, the probability of your solution going wrong is high, and this will impact the solution completely. The next stage is, you are telling that the new students will be like, the students will be willing to join this college, this university, because it's a tech savvy university. The probability of going this wrong is high, but this may have a very less impact on the admissions, or the ratings what the students are going to get, because they already know this is a proven college or proven university. So the probability of going it is wrong is high, but even though it's going to be high, but if the impact of this solution is not going to affect the university at the end, right? So this is how this is the design thinking. This is one of the step in design thinking, like assumptions, when you are listing out assumptions and how you are going to classify your assumptions. Okay, so this is how we do. Okay, so next we are going to do the list out the potential ideas. By after doing this, we are going to, I'm just going fast. You can refer to the recordings later. The listing potential, you are going to list the potential things by doing the market survey or doing a brainstorming sessions. You go to the customer and you're going to conduct some tests based upon interview. You're going to pitch your ideas. You're going to develop your prototypes, and you're going to create some fake products or fake links for the customer to experience. This is like prototyping and testing, right? This is what you're going to do. So you can do like this. So after doing this, you are going to take a 2-dimension test. One is for the cost, based upon the cost. So when doing this test, this is going to be a next module, but I'm just pitching in 1 minute what you're going to do in the next module. That's going to be a 2-dimension test. To be in launching your product and testing your product, there are going to be a 2-dimension test. One is based upon the product, whether to do this test or to do this survey, you're going to spend money. If you're spending money, what will be the based upon your spending on money, what will be the quality of results or the test results you get? Whether if you're carrying the survey for free, whether the customer will give you a good rating, or when you're paying the customer for the to give the rating, whether he will be giving you a nice rating or not. So that depends upon that. So again, based upon the test what you're going to conduct, it can be classified as low cost, low quality, low cost, high quality, high cost, low quality, high cost, high quality. So I'm spending less money, less quality of data. I'm spending less money, but I'm getting high quality of feedback. Then I give high money, but no low quality of the even though I pay money, my customers are not going to give me good rating. I mean, it's about the testing. Next, high money but high quality. I spend more money, I spend high quality of data. Based upon this MVP test, I have run this for the 3 conditions where tablets. I'm just going to discuss the 3 conditions. Tablets will provide better user experience or better reading experience for the students. The test is, you can observe. How can you do that? You can just observe, or you can conduct an interview, but it is going to be high cost and high quality. But it's going to cost, if you're going to conduct interview and all those things, it's going to cost you, the quality of data will be high. Otherwise, you can go for a small campus survey asking your students whether you're going to like buy this tablet. If the university is introducing like this, then it's going to cost you less, and the quality of data is going to be also less. But because just like that, they'll give the ratings. Then if the customers are the customers willing to, or the students willing to buy pay for the tablet, then you can conduct a campus survey, or you can tell that these are the advantages of the book, of carrying the disadvantages of carrying the book. Rather, if you have a tablet with you, these are the things. There's a nice video coming up, like how you invite the students to join your team, or like you could see a lot of promotion activities happening everywhere inside VIT during our normal working days. And at last, the end of the video, they'll tell this is a sign up link. Please sign up, and this is going to cost you low, but the quality, because people know what they can expect from the product. when the customers know what they can expect from the product, the quality of data or the feedback what they're going to give is going to be high. Then prospective students, like you can go for in the admission form itself, you can go whether you will be whether you're going to you like this college because it's giving digital tabs and other things, and otherwise you can go after opening the college, or you can go for doing your open house. You can give you a pamphlets, or you can give you a form for them to fill to collect their data. So this is how it will work. So if you're spending money, it's not that you're going to get the right data or the right feedback from your customers. And again, if you spend less money also, this is also not, the cost and the quality of data are highly not proportional to each other. So that's the thing. So again, learning we are going to do a lot of collective brainstorming can be done, affinity mapping can be done. These are the other things, like how you can collect the data, consolidated learning, invalidated assumptions, validated assumptions, new ideas, new assumptions, new questions can be framed. So all these things you can do. So you can refer to this websites to do this. So with this, we are completing this module on design thinking. Of course, I know the last 2 slides I have rushed up, but I can cover it in the next module also. So that's why I've just went off very fastly in the last few slides. If you have any doubt, you can take I can take it now. The meanwhile, I'm just posting a short question here for you to answer for the attendance. Okay, I just posted the poll. Kindly fill that. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, I'm happy to take that. So here I mean EDIPTIS, empathize, design, ideate, prototype, test, and implement. The design thinking cycle. This is just a simple quiz. Whatever I posted. If you have any questions, meanwhile I can take it up.